I'm going to talk about the cost of putting your ATM card in the wrong woman. Now, let me just tell you right now, this is definitely going to be something that you need to know about. If you haven't never liked, subscribe, don't forget to follow our channel. Today on the show, we're talking about that, putting the cost your own. Just think about this. Right now, here's a fact. When I was around 12 or 14 years old, I started working. And in the process of me working, I put my ATM card in the wrong woman. You ever had that moment when you met someone and you really liked them, and then what you did, you actually took your paycheck and you invested in them, but they only wanted to be your friend? Well, if you're an entrepreneur today, you need to understand, most importantly, you need to understand that she will never be a woman to produce a lineage. She will only be a woman to produce an image. You want to stay away from anyone that at the time when you're trying to grow a business and you actually begin to put dollars and cents into your business and you get it off the ground, or you already have a business currently, and you meet a young lady. Again, you're not looking at the time, you're looking at opportunities, you're not looking for a wife, and you run into a young lady and you try to go out and court her. In the process of courting her, what you're going to find out is you can put your ATM card in the wrong woman, and it could actually catastrophically affect your overall business. So let's go over 5 things you need to make sure you do not do when you meet somebody now in 2023, so you'll never forget how to make sure you keep your ATM card in your pocket and away from all women. That's right, all women who can't build the lineage. And that included thoughts. Now, I know that's a culture word. We're just referring to a woman who actually can only produce an image, but she'll never produce a lineage. And if she does have a child by you because you inappropriately didn't marry a wife, but you got involved as an entrepreneur with someone else, let me tell you the bad thing about that. You're going to end up having an ATM that knows how to run a balance each month down to zero. I mean, there's nothing like, actually, if you ever misplaced your card before, credit card or ATM card, one of the worst fears is man, if I just lost it and it was in one place, or did I really lose my ATM card? Well, let me just explain to you. You cannot afford to do what I did when I was 12 or 14, and you can't do it as an entrepreneur. You can't actually, here's the thing. You can date or you can marry. You can date or you can marry. But what you cannot do is you can't start a business, which is actually a child, and then assume to go after a woman who has perception. And then you start to put money into the wrong ATM and that card gets stuck. That's right. It gets stuck in her. And in the process of that, all it has is a recurring balance to go to zero once a month. Every time you see her, she costs the perception. You can't afford the baby, the new business, and you can't afford the young lady. You can't afford them both. Now you can both, but you can afford a young lady who you're pursuing to be a wife, because she'll stop you from allocating funds in a way that doesn't build the family up. There's a lot of women out here looking for a come up. And I'm telling you now, guys, regardless of what race, status, or position that you're in right now, there's women looking for a come up, which means access to your cash, but not really want to deal with you. They want access to your cash, but not really want you to call them. They think you're cute, but they ain't trying to be married to you. Well, if that's the case, that you cannot take it out. Now, I don't care if it's dinner, going to a movies. You cannot put the ATM card in the wrong woman, because it's going to cost you capital, your business, a baby. It's crazy. Here's the thing right now. There's a lot of women in 2023 that got the fake eyelashes, the Botox lips, the overwhelming hips. None of that stuff is natural. I just want you to know that's a cost. So it's just like going to anything else when you're going to be allocating funds in a way that is not going to generate any income. When you got the women with the fake eyelashes, everything. I mean, they went from being natural to being the new image of perception, and you get involved with them. I'm just going to tell people, I'm not knocking it. I mean, if you're married already and your wife becomes that woman, I get it. Hey, that's between you and her. But if you're actually starting a business or in business and you get involved with a young lady, and that tends to be the outcome that you're pursuing, I need to tell you right now, you can't, a business, a company that you're running is a come up, but it should be a come up for your lineage. That's the whole purpose of it. It should never be a come up for her image. And a lot of women is for their image. I recently saw a post on IG where a young lady was dating a guy. He had started off, he was doing very well. He went out and bought a nice car. He's showing his house. He's in the club. And I'm watching this play out. He's older. I'm over the age of 40. I'm assuming this guy, apparently from what I was looking at, he's a little bit over the age of 30, but he's under 40. And the new girl's in the club, and she's a come up. She's getting a come up, but he needs a lineage. He needs someone that he can rise up to be like the Walton family. That's not what he got. He went out and took pride, got involved with the young lady. And now the images that they're showing is he got the nice earrings and the double earrings. He got the nice jewelry, got the Cuban link on his neck. We're seeing all this amazingness. He's flashing everything that he has. He got a business though. If you're getting about the business, how come I say that? Because the business, the whole goal of his business is to retain earnings. It's not actually, she's not even a logo. She's not even a SKU. I mean, if that's the case, that's a community chick. And you do not want to get involved with a community chick in 2023. You're looking for a wife. You're looking to actually produce. And let me just explain something to you. If you ever get involved with a community chick who really doesn't like you, you're not the only one dating her. Just going to tell you right on out. You're just one of her come ups in the many of come ups. If you got an OnlyFans chick, I feel sorry for you. I'm not saying that, the image and everything, but that's not, let's just tell you, no one wants to see grandma naked. Just keep that in mind. When you think to yourself, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, does anybody really want to see grandma naked? I don't think so. Well, when you go in a position and you got a community young lady who's of the world, who has no desire at all for morals, civil laws, more anything. I mean, she's willing to smoke marijuana on your image. I mean, come on, let's be honest about this. That may be cool, but that's not a boardroom seat. That may be cool. I mean, I get it. You got this opportunity. You meet somebody, and you want to let everyone know that she is a high-end value female, but not morally and definitely not ethically. And she may say she has morals, but her morals is actually not showing that this represents your last name for the next 21 generations. And here's the thing. I know everybody wants a model chick. Everybody wants to say all of those different things. I need to have it. I got to have the best looking girl. It's going to cost you, and it would actually hurt your business because it's going to cost more for her image than it's going to cost you to retain an income. Now, if that's your whole goal in life, then I'm going to tell you, go right ahead and do it. You're going to be fine. But don't think about doing it as a business owner, because you really shouldn't do it as a business owner. And at the same time, as we know, there are certain things that happen today that if it happens in business, but as a business owner, you have to be of utmost respect. You need to be setting the trend. You got employees that's looking up and say, I want to be just like him, or they don't want to have access to your girl. That's what most of you are doing. I don't have a problem with it, but just think about this. And I want to show you the fact of how you should look at everything. If this is the reality that you're setting yourself up for guys, and I'm just going to tell you like this. There's a saying that if you have a situation right now and you want to get rid of a female, you billboard her. It's the way to get out without her being mad because somebody else is going to get access to her. I'm not sure if you ever heard that before, but that's a big thing outside the US. It's called billboarding a female. It's when you like, I don't know how to really tell her. I was really interested in her. I wanted to experience her, but I didn't want to marry her. I don't want to be with her. So you billboard her. You put her out there so much that you make all your associates and friends want to have access to her. People who don't know her, you constantly do it, and then you leave her on the billboard. And then when she calls you, you get mad and you use that whole excuse to kind of do an exit because you wasn't honest when it first started. But I'm just telling you right now that when it comes down to actually trying to operate a business as an entrepreneur, you have to remember that you got to be so positioned and so humble. Net earnings, retained earnings are the most important thing that you have to do. Now, let me just give you a category. This is a couple of things that I do see, and I understand it. Young guys love to have girls who actually, when you take them out, you see the photos, is disrespectful. That's fine. That's what they want to do. They're going to lose the ethical role in business, but they got these young females that they're attractive to. It's the wrong type of female. Their mothers don't like them. Their sisters definitely don't like them. And if their mom and sister don't like them, then here's the thing. You can have moms and sisters that like the young lady that represents an image of them. But I'm going to tell you the backside of this. If you're going to be an entrepreneur and you're doing things to actually grow your net operating income, and in the fact you have this young lady that when you're not with her and you're doing business, the only thing she can do is you take that ATM card. That's right, because she got access to your money, and you give it to the wrong woman and you put that ATM card in her. As you generating money, she backdooring that bad boy. As you generate money, it's running out the back door, and she's spending money with her friends, trying to impress them with money she has no ability to maintain her own. Any way that she makes a dollar, any way that she generates money, it is nominal compared to your capacity. I mean, money in her hand is like air. You can't even see it. That's how good it is. She may have the latest clothes, Versace, you name it. You name the brand, whatever she's rocking, you probably like that on her. You want everybody to see this. But that's not going to work out well if you're building lineage wealth. If you're building lineage wealth and you're trying to operate a business and you're trying to retain your net operating income, You do not want a female like that. Now, I'm not knocking all the guys out there who running across, having different issues. They feeling a little insecure in their life right now. And they got this young lady that they saying to themselves, man, she's hot. She's not putting, guys. I'm just telling you this right now. She's not putting. What she actually is ripened food. Understand what I said? She's a ripened food. You know what happened? Ripened food is dying. Mindset ain't right. You working so hard to generate wealth, and at the same time, she's trying to do everything she can to get rid of it. Now, you produce a child out of that. Let me tell you what you're gonna get. You're gonna be an entrepreneur that has a business who's gonna spend a lot of time trying to generate more and more money while she backdooring it. Second, you're about to have kids. And if you accidentally, if you marry her, that's one thing. But if you're not married to her and you have a child, difficulty. That's what difficulty, because you don't let somebody who is not the head of your lineage into your life, who has only one desire to ripen. Every time you generate money, it's got to go through a destruction standpoint where it was used to be here, now it's down there. And that costs you. You don't realize how much it costs until you start looking at that account. All these discretionary spending that's going on, new shoes, new clothes. I have an associate of mine, the gentleman, I'm just trying to tell you, man, was so crazy. One of the things he says, man, I met this female. It was cool. We were dating. And this was in my younger years, but I'm just telling the story because I don't want to put his name out there. He's one of my followers. But, and what he said was this: Primo, here's my issue. How do I tell her she can't buy something new? She never likes to wash clothes. She just keep buying new stuff. I said, that's easy. That's easy. You guys live together? He said, no. Great. Change your telephone number. Go stay with a friend for about 2 months. And tell everybody when she comes to your office, you're not available. Because if you're not bold enough to tell her that what you're really trying to say is, how do I get rid of her? No, I'm not trying to say, man, you're trying to get rid of her. You recognize right now that this is going to be an issue because you worked all your life to gain those skills with your hands so you can actually generate enough money that you can transfer. And again, what happens, you went after a woman who did not have discernment. Now you got this woman on the side. Now you end up having a child. Now the child, I think it's funny. And it's just me. You don't have to like it, just me. I think it's funny when the mom got on Versace, the child got on Versace, and none of them can buy Versace without this dude. This dude, he's the breadwinner. She can't even afford Versace if she worked 2 weeks unless she got access to an ATM card. And that ATM card is not hers because she has no ability to put that money in the bank. She has no ability to generate that money she can draw into, but she can't. Now, you may say, how come I'm saying this? How come I'm talking about this subject today? Because this is a stark warning for all the entrepreneur men out there. On Monday's show, who over the weekend, I had an opportunity to spend some time with a couple people. And in the process of spending some time, there were some conversations that we had. And I said, you know what? Let me take it on the spin, because sometimes you can have conversations, but you cannot necessarily tell everything about that conversation because it was told in confidence. But you can actually begin to develop content around it to teach a lesson. And the lesson is, so many men are insecure today that they're out here pursuing women that meet their insecurities while they're in business. So they're in business, they start these companies. Some have been able to retain earnings. The other ones haven't been able to retain some earning yet, but they knew. They get these cars. These cars are imagery. They got to make these payments. They didn't pay cash for it. Now, this video, if you went out here and you made money, that's not for you. This video is not going to be for you. But if you're out here right now and you're looking at building something when it comes to you and your loved ones and making the Forbes list of wealthy people, I'm just going to be honest with you. Put your head down. Don't look up at any of the females. Don't even do it. Just don't pay attention to that. What you got to do right now is set your family up, not make a come up. If you make yourself better, anybody associated with you make you better. But if you trying to make yourself better and you going about it the wrong means, and you actually meeting with females and you spending money on alcohol, champagne, you out here at night when you should be really as a CEO of your business at home working on your next strategy, but you doing anything anywhere near a club. I don't care what your background is. You in anywhere near a club. You in all the wrong places because you're an executive. But yet you feeling insecure. So you're going to go out and leverage some of the things you've been able to achieve with unskilled people who can only sneeze on you. And that's disgusting. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, they sneeze on you. You don't want them really sneezing on you. You know, tell them cover their mouth, sneeze in their shirt, let them sneeze on their chest and walk away from them. Because now you know they nasty. Because if their community, you need to have immunity, because you cannot afford in 2023, during the best time to get a reset in the market that we're in right now, to be involved with any person that's actually that when you give them access to, and guys don't really want to accept this factor. We give out cash way too fast. We just give out cash way too fast. You don't even have to go out here. The term that, you know, a lot of times people will say is stunning, showing off. You don't have to do none of that. Let me just tell you, slow it down. If you got to oppress a woman, if that's the only way you can get her, you really don't have her attention. She's already distracted on something else. You're not trying to oppress her. So if you insecure, you handling your business, you're trying to get your business up and running, and you mess around, and now you got this young lady that you've met and you pursuing her, and you pursuing her as if she is some type of dessert. You really ain't trying to make her your wife. You're not trying to bend no knee. You're just trying to have some activity with her. So your motives are wrong from the jump. If that's your overall goal, then let me just explain to you, focus on your business. Let me save you all this money. I have a friend that, all jokes aside, I would never invite him to any event I have among grown adults. He's an adult, but I can never invite him. You'll never see the same woman twice. I would say that 99% of his money since we were the age of 14 has gone to women through the course of a year. I remember one year he had 20 different females he dated, and he was dating 5 at one time. That is ridiculous. How can you actually run a business effectively when you keep giving out your ATM? See, anybody you date, first of all, you know that whole situation that we have when you first meet somebody, when you first meet them, you don't even want to sleep. You just on the phone thinking you got to deliver them to rest at night. You talk to them so much and then they start sleeping like, I feel good because no other guy can talk to them right now. You know, lost your mind. You got a business, just like a regular job. You work 8 to 5. Once you get off, you're done. You got to let her know, yes, I like you. But at the same time, if I'm going to ever be in a situation where I have a lineage and I'm making something for my children's children, then I can't be on the phone with you at no midnight. I mean, I get it. You know, we just met. I got to slow my emotion down because after about 2 weeks, it's unrealistic. I got to get up and I got all this work to do. And all you got to do is look good. I mean, you spend thousands of dollars on makeup. I don't want to inherit that bill. I mean, I don't. But in the situation, the way that it goes is that you got to realize that your wealth is associated with your ATM card. And if you stick that ATM card in certain places, you might as well kiss that money goodbye, because it was never going to stay there. That balance can only go down. It can't even go up. Now, how does that happen? Because you've never decided to look. And I don't knock any guy who look at their mom and says, I cannot get with her because my mom is just as trashy as some of the other females. I don't knock guys for that. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't knock you if your mom has made some mistakes. I mean, like, I don't mean to be funny, like LeBron James' mom. I mean, let's be real. His mom should be number one in any man's life, but she's number 2, 3, and 4 because, as you know, when he played basketball, his mother was sleeping with the players. That's not cool. We're going to pray for her. But in the process of that taking place, how come that's significant? Because at the end of the day, we're talking about creating a brand, legacy, executive, CEO, CFOs. You're in a different class. You're just in a different class. You have to accept that you stepped your game up. You've increased your hand power. Money in your hand for someone who has gifts that you have and you figure it out. And especially if you're still insecure, you say, well, yes, I am. I've got myself to the point where I'm making 250,000, $500,000, or 100,000. If you never made 100,000, then 250, then $500,000, then $1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And you're not trying to have a wife. You're trying to go out here and get desserts. You got to understand that you're making a strong decision that's not wise for the rest of your life, that's going to have an association. I'm telling you, there's so many women out here that you have to take a step back and say, I'm looking for a queen. Now, my old saying is this: if you don't name her, you defame her. Again, if you don't name her, you defame her. I'm not into that. I name mine. I know what the name of my wife is. I know exactly who the lineage mother person of my kids is. And I can tell you, I've made mistakes. And I will never make some of them twice that I made the first time. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Great story. When I was 14, 15, I met a young lady, and I decided, back then, where I was living at, minimum wage was around $4 an hour, right? So it took me 2 months to make more than it was like I was making literally like $400 a month. It was part time. I was a kid, so I made $800 over 2 months, right? And over those 2 months, I was delivering papers. So I was my entrepreneur. I'm delivering papers. The crazy thing about the whole situation was, as I'm delivering papers, so I took the young lady out. We went to Coney Island. I'll never forget that. We went to Coney Island and paid for the Long Island Railroad. We did all of that stuff. Went to Coney. I spent $678, guys, one day trying to pursue this young lady. Because I really liked the Spanish girl. You know, my name is Primo Fuego Galicia. I'm like, oh, she is beautiful. She's in school. Everybody looking at her. That was my mistake. I didn't go after the quiet ones. I went after the ones who are not quiet. Dangerous to do if you're an entrepreneur. Don't you stick with the quiet ones. Make sure she got a book. Make sure she's actually helping her mom. If she's in the flower bed, make sure she stay there. But whatever you don't get with these loud women, stay away from her. I got with a loud woman. Let me just tell you the heartache. She told me after pursuing her, taking her to Coney Island, having some fun, she just wanted to be friends. I said, what? You want to be friends? I don't want to be your friend. I didn't pay $678 to be your friend. I probably should have known that. I was only 14, 15 years old. You know, I probably should have known that I was only going to be her friend. I had no way. $678, I don't pay no rent or nothing. But in my mind, I was saying, this is going to be my girl. I'm going to be with her forever. You know, that lie we tell ourselves because we're really looking with some lustful eyes. But, we say, hey, you know what? No problem. I'm just going to go out here and I'm going to pursue her. Everybody going to see her. She's going to be right underneath this arm wearing back then it was Letterman jackets. When you went to school, she going to wear my coat, even though she didn't be in the same school system. But she rocking my stuff. Everybody going to know she's my girl. What's the problem with that? She wasn't my girl. I put my ATM card in the wrong woman. And if you've ever had that experience and you look back over your life and you say, man, I spent this, I spent that, I spent this, you will find out very, very quick. It's not worth it. So a word of advice, don't do it. Only pursue someone who's going to be your queen. Someone who at the end of the day can raise a lineage, who can read to them, who can help them when they're sick, who will not wear slippers to Walmart. If you got a Walmart female and they wearing slippers everywhere they go, let me just tell you, if you're an entrepreneur, on aisle 27, leave her. Don't even bring her home. She got one issue. Slippers are not ever supposed to be outside shoes. There's stuff that people do, spit everything else on the street, and she rocking that throughout our house. Listen, man, how you going to be in a boardroom sounding intelligent when that's your decisions? That's not positive decisions. I'm just telling you to be honest with you. You know, one of the other funny things I'll tell you, I don't know what's up with the I don't know if they're trying to go to Vietnam, but what's up with these scarves that women are wearing as if they're trying to put waves in their head in Walmart at 3:00 in the afternoon? I mean, I don't mind that at home. If we're at the house, hey, that's fine. But before you even open the blinds, nobody better not see that on your head. I've been at heaven, not where I live at. Call me, say what I want to say. I got some standards up in this piece. You may not have no standards. You may say whatever. Now I get it. You can put the wrap on, look like you got you like Winnie the Pooh to be tracking behind you. He think it's honey in that hair. But whatever you do, don't you allow no one else to see her. Okay, she's mine behind closed doors. Your ATM card in her hands, guys, you guys gonna have to forgive me for this. I'm gonna have to say it. I can't help myself. After having this conversation this weekend, I realized some guys are messed up. These guys they're executives. And the only thing I could do is to package this, put this video out there, and then email them, because it was too many people around us. If I would have said this to them, I would have humiliated them. The girl that they had, back in the day when we were young, there was a little fish bowl and it had a little angel fish in it, right? And then sometimes back in the day, you would see Garfield had the fish, the fish. I think she went, when women now are getting, we have natural foam. You got this right here, this foam bone. It's natural, right? But I think she went for the highest dose of Botox. Literally. Sometimes you got fat rolls, like people got fat rolls. I'm trying to see if I can make a bunch of fat rolls, right? It looked like she got a lethal injection. It was here. I mean, it was like somebody said, boom. And I was like, oh, listen, I thank you for introducing me to your girlfriend. Almost as like she was upright and they were talking and she heard and she looked at the window and she said, bam, and her face just swole up. That's what I saw when I met her. That's what I saw. But I couldn't tell him this because he's so busy, instead of be focusing on growing his business. And I said, and I asked him, I said, is this your wife? He was like, so you're not going, then I'm married. Why are you introducing me to somebody that you know goodness well, you executive, you know, I don't understand why you introduced this lady to anybody. I mean, her face is swollen. Let it heal first. I mean, because at the end of the day, between her lips and her eyelashes, I didn't know where the damage took place at. I mean, girls, I understand. But if you're going to be an executive and you work all hard, how you wearing Versace that's real with all that fake stuff on your face? Something got to, I mean, you can't think about it. Real eyelashes are like real Versace. That's genuine. Real lips. It's not Botox. That's not genuine. So you spend all this money when you already made 100% natural. To go to 150 miles the other way, that when somebody look at you, they're like, no. I mean, I don't mean to be funny, but I realize now why so many entrepreneurs are struggling financially. Look at their IG, that you don't see a lineage, fan reunions. You see someone that is destroying the family. That's all I'm saying. So, this whole purpose of the day and my whole rant on Business Monday was she will never be a woman that produce a lineage that can be respected. She can only produce an image that I rejected. Don't do it. Till next Monday. I'll see you next week. You guys have a great day. And remember, do not put your ATM in the wrong woman. That's right. Don't do it. It's going to cost you your dough.